Now we need to turn. Turning using the drive block is a little bit more complex. To turn the robot, we will need to use something called the steering option. This steering option is available from the drive block setting menu, which is accessed from this blue icon. We can check those boxes to add to our drive block the steering parameter that allows steering, and if we like, a duration parameter to control the duration of the turn. Duration is in milliseconds. Just like we tried in the previous missions of the previous session, this is a bit of trial and error, finding out the right value to complete a turn. In this case, we need to turn at 90 degrees. Let's try a value and then tweak it as needed. As for the steering, well, we already know we can turn in different degrees of the curve. So before we move on, let's have a look at the steering rules, which we have prepared for you. The steering parameter, as you can see from this table, can allow us to create any type of turn we like. Just like speed and power, steering is a vector. The magnitude controls the turn radius. The sign controls the direction of the turn. Positive values of steering will create turns to the right. Negative values will create turns to the left. You can practice the drive block at home, and you'll see it's the easiest way to control our robot. Check the rule book when not sure, or just try out different values. Courtesy will never explode in your face, so don't worry. We can see from this table that to create a point turn, we need a steering value of 100. If we go back to the mission, we can see that we need to turn our robot to the left. This means that we will need a negative value to drive it to the left, to turn it to the left. So we have minus 100 is the steering value. This will turn our robot to the left at a point turn. Let's run the simulation and see how it goes. We may have to tweak the distance, the duration in milliseconds. As we can see, we turn too far away. I have a question for you. Is there another way to lower the distance or the degrees that the robot turned in other than lowering the duration? I'll repeat the question. Is there another way to change the distance that the robot turned at other than lowering the duration of the turn? Well, some of you said to change the steering. That is one way of doing it, but it's a little bit more complex, as changing this value will create different turns that are not point turns. But if we lower the speed, we can create in the same duration a shorter distance to be covered by the robot. The drive power and the duration can both affect the distance that the robot will cover. Excellent. Again, if there are questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, and the team will answer you as best